Greetings, programs. This is Wretch, and welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall. In the last episode, we finished the run at Aztech Technologies and was able to escape before the bomb went off. We also got information on what exactly Project Bloodline is, and after dropping it off to Algernon over here, we found out it is actually a very, very nasty magic that can target people through family bloodlines. So some nasty, nasty thaumaturgy. We got a call from Paul Amsel that we need to head back to the safe house pronto. And then I guess after we find out what's going on there, we can find out what exactly we're going to do with this magic. Because I don't know if I want to actually send it to the people at the Shockwellen Rider. Because Algernon's... Oh, that's not good. Looks like everyone's assembled here in the middle. If Blitz isn't there. Something bad happened to Frau Mueller, didn't it? As you step forward, the rest of your team falls silent. Amsel shifts his attention to you, and you can see the worry on his face. Wretch, I have new information. I'm afraid that the news isn't good. So you said over the comm. Go on, we're listening. 2 years ago, a large shipment of a highly lethal radioactive bioweapon disappeared en route to a storage facility in Dresden. The weapon was designated X-15. I have traced the path of the missing shipment, and it was delivered to the Harfeld Manor. Well, that sounds horrible. It is. I've heard of this stuff before. Back in the service, we called it Doom. I've never run across it in the wild, but I've heard enough horror stories to know that I don't want to. The stories that you've heard are correct. This Doom is an extremely dangerous substance. He gestures to a technical document on his computer's display. I've been reading up. To this day, the story of Doom remains a cautionary tale in biotech circles. Monoclonal antibody technology is strictly regulated now, and this substance is one of the reasons why. What does this stuff do exactly? Amsel clears his throat and reads aloud from the information on his screen. Doom kills by destroying a host's muscle tissue via radioactive decay. Ugh. Each individual Doom antibody is bound to a radioactive bismuth-212 isotope. When introduced into a host, these antibodies bind to surface-level muscle tissue. The tissue is then killed with alpha radiation. This process repeats itself until the host wastes away and dies. Jesus. Iger nods grimly. I've heard that Doom was deployed in a couple of border skirmishes back in 41. After seeing what it did to people up close, the UCAS passed a unilateral ban on the stuff. If that doesn't tell you how bad it is, nothing will. Okay, so I hesitate to ask, but what would a dragon want with this Drek? Nothing good. That much goes without saying. This development worries me, Wretch. It worries me greatly. Well, if the dragon is stockpiling bioweapons, we got an even bigger problem than we thought on our hands. There's a moment of silence, then Dietrich speaks up. Well, in my book, this doesn't change anything. I mean, it ups the stakes if the Firewing's allowed to carry out her plans, whatever those might be, but we're going to stop her before that happens. That was always the plan. As far as I'm concerned, it's still the plan now. I agree with Dietrich. We need to focus on what's in front of us. Whatever the dragon's larger plans might be, the fact is that she is after us. We shouldn't let ourselves get distracted by anything else. Amsel is slow to respond. Finally, he nods. Yes, I concur. For the time being, we must continue forward, and that means you must continue working toward raising Alice's fee. I'll leave the matter in your capable hands, Wretch. When you've acquired the necessary funds and are ready to head back out of the rabbit hole, let me know. From there, we'll discuss our next steps. Iger nods. Good. If you need me, I'll be getting prepped for the next run. Right behind you, love. Dietrich casts a backward glance at Glory. If any of this has had an impact on her, she doesn't show it. Come on, Glory. Let's go. Alright, looks like everyone is heading back to their normal areas. So, let's get the chatting with everyone. Actually, we have some pay data to post. The cool blue tones of the workstation's main menu, we have two unread... Oh, we can delete the Project Bloodline data. So that's one of the options, huh? Well, you know what? I don't want Shockwellen Rider. I don't want that information going out to public. Algernon said it should be locked away forever, and considering all that he was involved in Shadowrun Returns, I'm apt to believe him, so... Warning, this is a one-way operation. Deleted files will be non-recoverable. Are you sure you wish to proceed? Yes. File deleted. Oh, we gained some karma. Awesome. Now let's check for new messages. One last DVD. The screen flickers to life and Mallet's face appears. She wears a plastic smile. Hoy again, Wretch. Well, I've recovered one last DVD for you, but I'm afraid that's all you're going to get. You might as well use the rest as coasters. They're all beyond repair. If you look at the table beside your DVD player, you'll find the disc that I salvaged. She pauses. A slight frown crosses her face. To be completely honest, that was a lie. To cover this last disc, I was forced to subcontract. Shradi is still a brute of a man. I am unimpressed with his manner, and his poor hygiene disgusts me, but he's very good with old things such as this. All credit where it's due. The message ends and the image fades, and you find yourself back at your inbox. Alright. Your continued assistance. Shockwell and Ryder to Wretch. Thank you for your service. As a sign of our appreciation, we have decided to award you with a piece of biotech that one of our operatives acquired on a recent job. If you wish to take advantage of this, go see Dr. Escabel. The implantation surgery has already been paid for, so there will be no cost to you. Thanks again for your help, and enjoy your new toy. Freedom, equality, information, and Shockwell and Ryder. That's kind of cool. We'll have to run by the doctor and see what that is. Let's open the jobs directory. Okay, claim payment for the Aztechnology sabotage run. A message pops on the screen. Frau Mueller to Wretch. If you're receiving this message, I have fled the country and am otherwise unavailable. Don't worry, you'll still be getting paid. I've made the appropriate preparations. In any case, Wretch, thank you for helping me. Please do not attempt to contact me again. As far as the world and my former employees are concerned, I am buried under a ton of rubble. It is best that I remain that way. Goodbye, Yvonne Jimenez, a.k.a. Frau Mueller. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, payment details. We've got 6,000, 18,000 to the Alice. We have enough to take care of that now. Awesome. Check the status of the Alice funds. Just enough. 500 over. To Alice's... not yet. We still have some other stuff we want to do before we start doing the Alice fund. Let's see here. Check the Shadowlands BBS. Thread kaboom. Did you feel that shake a few hours ago? Not an earthquake. Azzy facility went sky high downtown. Boom! You can see the smoke from here. A friend of mine down there says it was a power spike that blew their generators. I doubt it. Only Shadowrunners have that sense of flair. You're kidding me. That huge one that sprung up 6 months ago? Place must have cost millions to build. If it was runners, hope they got a major payday. No way I'd go anywhere near an Azzy facility without a truck full of ammo and a mage watching my back. Yeah, I had both. Honestly, the power spike version sounds more likely. I've walked past that facility and they have guards posted at the door 24/7, not to mention the automated turret systems backing them up. No way someone got paid to waltz through that shiz. No way. So, dig this. Apparently there were some survivors wandering around a U-Bot station near the blast site. Some whatever that word is, folks approached to see if they had accounts. One of them said that they had to keep running, and then they took off down the tunnel. Oh, wow, that was probably the people that we screwed over with the power spike. Well, sure, with the blast that magnitude, they were probably all in shock. Found another post about a bunch of glassy-eyed people wandering around. It said that they were all wearing hospital gowns? The people must have hooked them up. They keep all kinds of medical gear in their rescue wagons, okay, the bloodline folks. Maybe, or maybe they were Azzy guinea pigs. Okay, Thread, please help me find my daughter. Please help me find my daughter. She ran away from home. She is human in her early 20s with short blonde hair and data jack. She was last seen wearing a light blue dress. Worried Mother 004. This is not exactly the place to be looking for missing kids. How did you even get in here? I paid good money to get on here. I was told you people could help. If you got the new yen, you came to the right place. I sent you a number that you can reach me at. The old help me find my missing kid routine. A classic. My money is on escaped wage slave. Make sure to do your homework, Ruby. Core tracers. Anyone have a good backup plan for when you get stuck with a tracer? Barely managed to bug out of my apartment after a corp hit squad came knocking. Lesson learned. Pat yourself down a couple of times and make sure you don't have a tail. But if I miss something, I'd rather keep my safe houses, safe. I've had good luck with RF blockers, have a jamming grid set up near my safe house. It projects any signals to a few miles away where I've got some cameras placed. So when someone shows up there, I know they were trying to find me. Then I do a thorough sweep to find the tracker. Sharp. How long does that go on before they give up? Usually rule of threes. I keep reprojecting the signal to different locations. In my experience, they give up after the third one is a dead end and stop listening to that RF signal. Huh. Let's post some pay data. Has technology DNA donor list. And can we claim payment? Ooh, the OTK financial records are coming in. 441. What about the romantic recording? Okay, almost 1,000. That's good. And nothing else to post. Okay. Excellent. So let's go ahead and talk to Glory first. Glory favors you with a weak smile, her expression cautious. You're suddenly aware of how very small she is. Hoy, Wretch. I've got to admit, I've been dreading this. So, now that you know what I've done, what I am, are you here to tell me off? I wouldn't blame you if you were. No, Glory, I'm not here to tell you off. Truth be told, I wanted to check in and see how you were doing. Not great. Struggling. About how'd you expect? Well, we left off in a bad place last time. I've been thinking about your story, and I have a question for you. Yeah? What's that? Are you still looking for closure? Because your story had a lot of loose ends that need to be tied up. She holds her silence for a long time. Finally, she nods. Yes, I've been thinking about this for a long time, Wretch, and every time that I've gotten close to making a decision, I've turned and run away again. No more running. I'm ready to face this thing, but I can't do it alone. I'm going to need your help. Well, that's the idea. Alright, if we're going to do this, we need to be clear on what our goal is. There are a lot of innocent people in that place, lost street kids who got sucked in by Marta and the other girls like her. Saving them won't be easy, but it feels like the right thing to do. But then, there's also Haro to consider. I want that man dead. Lord knows he deserves it, and if we don't make killing him our top priority, he might get away from us. If that happens, if he runs, he'll eventually start up another cult somewhere else where we can't find him, and all of this will have been for nothing. We're likely to run into other complications as well, so I think that we need to make a decision here up front. What would you do in my place? Rescue the kids or take down Haro? I don't think we can manage both. Well, here's the thing. I agree with Glory. It has to be a kill the cultist first, otherwise it's going to happen all over again. We'll wipe out the cult starting with Haro. As long as he's alive, he can just start all of this over again. We'll save any cultists that we can, but the ones that are too far gone will have to be put down. Haro needs to die. I don't want other kids hurt or killed, but Haro, that bastard has to pay for what he did to me. She stops, as if suddenly unsure of herself. A moment later, a newfound confidence seems to seize her. She looks to you, and there's fire in her eyes. He has to pay for what he did to all of us. I won't let this happen again. He needs to die. Yep, you're damned right he does. Meet me at the van when you're ready to go. It's a long drive from here to the Schonbook. She nods. I'll see you there. Awesome. So we have another quest. And this time we're going to be running with Glory instead of Blitz. Iger glances up from her PDA at the sound of your approach. Wretch, this isn't the best of times. Her body language is self-assured, but you can hear the anxiety in her voice. Something has her worried, and in a big way. Now, talk to me, Iger. If something's put you on edge, I want to know what it is. There's a long pause. Finally, she turns her PDA so that she can look at the screen. This. The image that greets you is a hollow pic of a rail-thin orc with jet black hair. Who am I looking at? His name is Yuli Kozlov. He's better known by his handle, the Engineer. He's a mercenary, ex-Spetsnaz, one of the best in his field. I ran up against him in my KSK days. Okay, tell me more. His specialties are social engineering and wet work. In practice, he spends most of his time paving the way for organized crime syndicates to seize new territory. He sets up bribes, takes out key members of the opposition, and forges alliances with existing street gangs, all of the groundwork that a syndicate needs. He's extremely bad news, Wretch, and my contact spotted him in Shadowrun. That's a little too close to the Cruise Bazaar for comfort. Exactly. I've seen what the engineer can do up close. My KSK unit tracked him a few years ago. I had him in the sights of my rifle, but I was ordered to hold fire. We couldn't afford to give away our position. To this day, I regret obeying that order. I saw what happened to the town that he was softening up after the Syndicate moved in. Wretch, I have to stop him before it's too late. What happened to that town, he can't be allowed to happen again in Shadowrun. Okay. Agreed. Do you know who he's working for now? The safest bet would be a Russian syndicate, but there's no telling. His client list is longer than you expect. Any examples? Well, I know for a fact he's worked for mafia groups operating inside and outside of Russia, and he put in a lot of time with the Lobachevsky syndicate. He's taken contracts with the Triads as well. My contacts tell me that he's even done a few jobs for Tamanus. That's a hell of a resume. Yeah, it is. She bites her lip and stares at the image on the PDA for a long moment. So, long story short, I'm going to have to step out for a mission or two. I know how important it is that we resolve the Firewing situation. I get it. But I just can't sit back and let this happen. She shakes her head. I won't. Well, if the Cruise Bazaar is at risk, this is too important a job to rest on the shoulders of one person, and I'm going with you. End of story. Alright, fearless leader. You're right, I could use the help. But the others, they can't know about this. This is going to have to be a quiet job, 2 people max. You sure you're prepared for this? If you can't hold up your end, I'd be better off on my own. Now, don't worry about me. I'm solid. Yeah, I know you are. Grab your things and meet me at Der Wellenkeller. I've got a contact who's going to join us up there, and he can help us figure out our next step. Awesome. We've got 2 more quests, one for Glory and one for Iger. Love it. Now, we are going to... Let's talk to Dietrich. What you need, boss? I think we've heard these before. I think we've gone through this before. Hold on a sec. If you're big and bad... Okay, so essentially what we're doing here, I don't know if we have done this actually. We're trying to get Dietrich to talk to the Dragon Slayer about re-looking over his priorities. Take a lot of guesswork out of life. I don't know, boss. If you have any thoughts about this, I'd love to hear them. Well, why tie yourself to a specific group? So basically, we're going over targets. I say keep it fluid. Stomp anyone that threatens the flux. Isn't that what Berlin is all about? He cocks his head. Interesting. That's a different approach, but I like it. Hang on a second, I'll ask. He closes his eyes and concentrates. Minutes pass. Slowly, a smile creeps across his face. Dietrich opens his eyes and turns to face you. Yeah, I think that he'd like that plan just fine. That was it? That was all it took? The Dragon Slayer doesn't mince words, boss. If he didn't like the plan, he'd have told me. Dietrich grin widens. He looks more at ease than you've ever seen him. Well, boss, I got myself a plan and a new target to boot. That's assuming, of course, that any of us make it through our current predicament alive. You know, Dietrich, now that you've got a handle on your connection with the Dragon Slayer, you could probably reach out to your old community again. Berlin's punks could benefit from your experience. He nods. Yeah, boss, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe I could give back a bit and fix some of the damage I caused in my misspent youth. After we're finished dealing with the crisis in front of us, that is. It's a good thought anyway. I'll keep it in mind. Now we'll check up on Alexander. And any thoughts on the run? You know, boss, living in Berlin, I never thought I'd get the chance to go up against a blood mage. Guess today was my lucky day. Not sure how I feel about your freeing them clones. It might make them kinder to put them out of their misery. He shrugs. It was your call, though. Okay, so we got that done. And we do have another DVD to watch. And DVD number 4. A soft whirring sound fills the air as the ancient DVD player spins the disc up to speed. The scratched LCD display comes to life and a menu fills the screen. Track 1. The DVD player ramps up to speed, filling the air with a shrill whining sound. Green Winter's face appears on the screen. The timestamp on the video reads April 28th, 2050. This is it, the interview. Took some digging to find it, but here he is, my big brother, back in his prime. The note disappears, and for a moment the screen goes blank. Suddenly, image of a news correspondent flashes onto the screen, accompanied by a brief orchestral flourish. A timestamp in the upper right corner of the screen reveals the date as August 22nd, 2012. Thank you for joining us. We are coming to you live from the ruins of Sangerhausen, the fifth harsh mountain town to be sacked by the Dragon Firewing. Standing by my side is the head of Deal Defense, Dr. Adrian Valclair. Dr. Valclair has been hailed as a leader in the effort to bring down Firewing and end her reign of terror. Dr. Valclair, tell us about your efforts to bring down the dragon. Killing the monster has proven difficult to say the least. Her speed and maneuverability in the air are extraordinary. Her scales repel small arms fire, and her breath can melt steel. Our R&D teams have been working around the clock to devise a weapon capable of downing the beast. In the interim, we are providing material support for the Luftwaffe's attempts to shoot her down via conventional means. Herr Valclair, why are you directing Dell Defense's energies to the killing of Firewing? Are there corporate interests in play at this? Corporate interests? No, this is a matter of human interests. Innocent lives are being extinguished at an appalling rate. I'm in a position to help put an end to the slaughter, and so I must. It really is that simple. Dr. Valkyr, you must understand my skepticism. Our viewers aren't looking for a PR statement. They've come to us for the truth. I'm afraid that I don't have time to go back and forth with this. Your viewers can think whatever they wish. My concern is in helping the people affected by this tragedy. In that case, Dr. Valkyr, I thank you for sharing your valuable time with us. You're very welcome. To the viewers at home, stay safe and watch the skies. Salvation is coming. I promise. Again, that was Dr. Adrian Valclair, CEO of Dial Defense. Dr. Valclair is the chief architect of the military's current plan to bring down the Dragon Firewing. Stay tuned for more late-breaking news on the battle for the Harz Mountains. We'll be right back. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, track 2. And Green Winters, and there's a look of astonishment on his face. This is November 17th, 2054. Holy crap. I just stumbled onto some of Adrian's old lab notes. I'm not going to say how I came across these. Someone might get hurt if the wrong people watch this. But I've checked them against some of Adrian's old handwriting samples, and they're legitimate. Oh, this is big. Alright, okay, back up. Slow down. Breathe. He takes a moment to calm himself. Okay, so these notes, they pretty much confirm something I've always suspected. The Luftwaffe didn't shoot down Firewing. I mean, they tried. They pumped thousands of rounds into the air around her, and they lobbed rockets at her for months. Lost a lot of attack helicopters and fighter craft in the process. But none of those things were responsible for taking her down. The Dragonfall was caused by an experimental warhead, one that Adrian and his Dell Defense think tank designed. I don't understand the science of it, not even a little bit. But from what I can piece together, it looks like they designed some sort of chemical radiological agent that acts on the metagene. I don't think they fully understood what they were doing. It was 2012 after all. I mean, the process worked, but I don't know if they understood why it worked. Anyway, when a warhead full of this stuff comes into contact with a dual-natured creature, like a dragon, say, it drives a wedge between the creature's physical and astral forms. The body gets put into a sort of a hibernation state, and the spirit is forced out. It also looks like this process can maintain that state of separation indefinitely, and that's a pretty horrifying thought. A discorporated body's supposed to die in a few hours. I've heard horror stories about ghost-walking mages getting trapped in astral space, unable to rejoin with their meat. I've heard they went crazy from the pain. If what I'm reading is accurate, it's entirely possible that Firewing has been trapped outside of her body for over 40 years. Winters pushes his chair back and slaps the table in front of him. This is why Adrian was always so cagey about the subject of Firewing after the Dragonfall. He knew for a fact that she was alive, even if only technically. Her body crashed down into the SOX, sure, but she wasn't dead. The government wouldn't let Adrian tell the public about any of this, of course. I'd interfere with the lie that they were feeding us, that the Firewing was dead and that everyone was safe, and that people should stop hiding in their basements and get back to work again. But privately, he always said she was still out there, somewhere deep in the SOX. I'd always thought that he was paranoid, but I was wrong. He knew. So, what does all of this mean? It means that the stories I got from that ghost rat suddenly sound a lot more plausible. It means that Firewing is definitely alive, and that Adrian's disappearance is unquestionably tied to her survival. It also means that Germany is in deep. Because if Firewing is still alive, it's only a matter of time before she rears her ugly head again. Okay, that's enough for one night. I'm gonna go get drunk. Okay, track 3. The DVD player ramps up to speed, filling the air with a shrill whining sound. Green Winter's face appears on the screen. He looks younger than you've ever seen him, but from the way he's carrying himself, he's clearly drunk. 5/15/2033. Oh, look at you, all dapper fellow. Look, Adrian, I understand you. Lord knows I do, but you've got to drop this dragon fixation. People are starting to talk. There's a camera cut, and you find yourself looking at a young, handsome Dr. Adrian Valclair. He wears a slight smile on his face. Oh, they're talking, are they? What a terrible shame. Damn it, Adrian, this is serious. You're a public figure. You could lose everything if you don't keep these ridiculous fairy tales to yourself. Hermie, my theories are not, as you call them, fairy tales. Dragons are real. I saved Germany from one. Have you forgotten? No, of course not. Everyone knows that you killed the Firewing. Stopped, not killed. Fine, stopped, whatever. Winter swipes a bottle off the table in front of him, drains it, and drops it to the floor. Call it whatever you want. And Adrian, you're the only one who's still this obsessed with the damn things. There aren't that many of them, and they're not taking over the world. Valclair's voice is quiet, soft. Such is the cry of the cancer patient, unaware of what's killing him. I'm fine, not to worry. I'll smoke another cigarette. What's the harm? He doesn't see what's happening, but he winds up dead all the same. Winter snorts. Now you're just being Malden. Look, Adrian. Valclair shakes his head. His smile has disappeared. You mark my words, Hermie. Within 5 years, corporations, even countries, will fall to these creatures. And the worst part is, nobody'll care. Oh, people will tut-tut about it. There may be a protest or two, but nobody will actually do anything to stop them. The immortal, all-powerful, utterly pitiless reptiles will seize more and more of our power, wealth, and territory. And we foolish, short-sighted mortals will never get it back. And that's pretty much what happened. Green Winters chuckles uncomfortably, raises his hands in the air in a supplicating gesture. Come on now, Agent. Valclair talks over his brother's interruption. We could solve the problem, of course, but we as a species are unwilling to invest our energy into problems that aren't staring us right in the face. But as it was with climate change, so it is with dragons. I've accepted that, but you can't ask me to stop caring about it. Winter shakes his head. You're hopeless, Adrian. Fine, by all means, keep caring. Just keep your conspiracy theories to yourself. I'm telling you this for your own sake. Valclair sighs, and he looks incredibly tired. Yes, Hermie, you're right, of course. I mustn't jeopardize my credibility with the masses. Winter's expression turns serious, his voice lowers. It's not just that your credibility that I'm worried about. Talk is talk, but sometimes... He pauses and shakes his head. Sometimes I'm worried that you're really going to go back to the SOX. Valclair's tone softens again. Hermie, Winters cuts his brother off. A new intensity burns in his voice. Please, big brother, just drop all of this. Stop hunting the Firewing and start living your life again. If you won't do it for yourself, then for Christ's sakes, do it for me. Valclair nods and looks away from the screen. All right, Hermie, I'll try. The image cuts to static, and we'll try track 4. Okay, a few seconds later, the screen fills with text. Jolly Green Winters. Last active, 1/15/54, age 50. Body type muscular. Athletic, 25. I'm a fun-loving guy who's also a great listener. I love hiking, clubbing, and all kinds of pets. I'm looking for a cute, funny, adventurous girl who's down to party. I don't respond to profiles without pics. No orcs, no trolls. Sorry, ladies. Huh. That's interesting. So there's all the info that we have. So, the Firewing did survive. And, okay, this is for getting the Alice payment. We don't need that. Okay, well, now seems a good time to go ahead and end the episode, guys. I'm going to run by the stores and see if I can get any new gear with all the money that we have. And then we'll start doing the quest for Iger and Glory. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to go ahead and click like down below, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.